crafting, building, fighting, pew pew pew, taking all the loot with my excellence. And lost and friends, sit back and we have some friends. We're the very best. We dive into the fighting, taking on the toughest quest. With my excellence, and my awesome friends. We're the very best. We dive into the virtual world with style and grace. Collecting loot, shining bright in every place. Pew pew pew, we're shooting our way through the scene. No opponent can defeat us. We're the gaming dream team. Welcome to Willow's Nest. It's where we belong in this digital world. We're unstoppable and strong. Crafting, building, fighting. Pew 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 pew, taking all the loot with my axolotl and my awesome friends. Together we conquer all, making the enemy scream. Then the chops and trees, gonna make a home with pixelated blocks. Building bridges high up in the sky, where imagination soars and fly, making dreams come true in this virtual world. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can't do. We're unstoppable, strong. Crafting, building, fighting. Pew 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 pew, taking all the loot with my axolotl and my awesome friends. Together we conquer all, making the enemy scream.
Hi, and welcome to another episode, hopefully with no freaking technical issues. Skyrim. Serrata, really? The hell, man? I don't even know where we left off yesterday. I think we just landed somewhere. Falkreath? Hello, everybody in chat. Sorry, my bad. Hello, Iceman. Lewis, Brandt. You can hear me? Good. That's always a bonus. Okay, hold on. I need to end my Twitch stream. That is not gonna work for me. Twitch is gonna end, yes. We don't need to stream on Twitch. I don't know why it's giving me gray screen on Twitch. But that sucks. Twitch is being twitchy. Just get my chew out. YouTube, where are you? There. Why is it not showing you my live? That's so weird. Okay, I get my little bit out of my face. Because I think we were going to Falkreath, if I'm not mistaken. Let's try this again, shall we? My headache is back again. Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
I remember. You're the new member of the
Hey,
companion.
this...
So you was.
Am I?
Fetch the mead.
Go suck an egg, buddy. I'm not your maid. What does he think I am? Fetch your own damn mead. What the hell? How are you doing, Iceman? I'm just getting a headache tablet. Exactly. Yes, bloody deal. The hell? You doing good so far? That's awesome. I think this is my horse. That's my horse now. It's my horse. The drunken horse. I'm pretty sure that's the horse we... Yeah, you should. Bye. And I can't remember who the people are that we have to speak to. What the heck? That's Lod's house. And that is Lod. I don't know where that horse is going, but he's going. Where you going, horsey? Going back home? I swear, he tries to go back to the snow the whole time. Because that's where I got him. So nobody up here. Nobody back here. This is the guard's house. Yeah. Love me complaining?
Soon, I can almost taste it.
It's probably bread you're tasting, buddy.
Hey, I know who you are. Hail Sithis.
Sure, hail Sithis.
Citizen?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Nothing.
What is it?
Nothing. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to find out what it is. Now we have to speak to somebody. But I don't know who somebody is. Okay, we've completed this one. That was the werewolf. Since that's not stealing. It was probably my gray screen. I don't know why. What the hell? But there's not a lot of stuff I can change here. Give me a second. It's better now. Sky cream. It's in the other screen. Hold on. Go in there. Give me a second. buffering every now and again. Well, I know there's another solar flare that's hitting us, so it could be a combination of that. Just keep talking? Okay. So just read it. Just go into my library and take one of the books out and just read you all a story. Just sit still. That's what I should do. Because moving around seems to be the issue. Now what you doing, game, computer? It's locked up again? Are you shitting me? This is gonna drive me nuts. Well, I put my task manager on a different screen so it doesn't sit behind anything. Don't see anything hogging my system. So what's your beef, dude? What? Let's try again. You see the solar flare is not from Star Rapture? Yeah, hopefully not from Star Rapture. Although they are speculating that it's like the worst since the 80s or 1880s or something stupid like that. I don't know. I only listened for half an ear. But it is quite hectic. I can feel it, that's for sure. For sure. Let's try this. I've taken off anti-analyze aliasing. Let's see if this works.
I heard you were at the wedding of the Empress cousin.
I was. What of it?
What do you need?
Kid. Don't tell anybody, but I killed him too. Watching stream is something. Sometimes is way better than listening to radio. DJ tends to read the script too much. That's not nice. Why is he reading a script? I don't read script. I is who I is, and I do what I want.
Someone new?
Within
someone looking for me to make something up for them?
Own rules and standards, though. Definitely keeping in with YouTube's standards and
Call
rules.
upon me if I can be of any service. Don't let the shop's name frighten you away. I have plenty of reliable tonics and healing potions to sell. Take a look.
You got garlic? You haven't got garlic. Useless.
Until next time.
I think the mindset that the audience are brain dead. Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. And there's a lot of streamers that I can't watch because they try to be like everybody else. I just can't. And I mean, these freaking blowjob faces on the thumbnails just drive me nuts.
You're that one from the college. Heard about you.
Did you know? I think I've spoken to
Scared of
you.
sunlight or something? Only inside the gates. Much of folk
I
withhold
am
this
what I am,
wilderness, and plenty of
exactly.
trumpet to be had.
Popeye cartoon philosopher? Yeah,
Me
he's
and my
got a
forge
good
if you need
philosophy.
arms or armor.
Let's move
I've got
faster.
arms,
Besides,
buddy. 2 of them.
It's not great for my skin.
Lord's house. I don't know who the hell to speak to
I'm
here.
sorry, I can't really help you. I'm just Dengir's maid.
You're not just that, you're a freaking NPC too. How you doing, Dirk?
Good to see you. Finally, someone useful is around.
Oh, thank you.
Yes? What is it that you want?
Does your inexperience make your job difficult? What a question.
Come and see me again sometime. I might have some use for you.
Sure. You don't look very useful.
The Legion's always looking for strong, capable warriors. If you think you've got what it takes, our headquarters is in Solitude. Stay sharp.
What are you
Not
doing
sure
here?
I understand the question. The Legion's always been in Skyrim. We have garrisons throughout all the provinces of the Empire.
And
Mission
gray
is to
screen.
serve the
Shit.
Emperor, uphold the law, and protect the citizenry. Skyrim's days are darkening, and the Legion will soon be called into service like never before. But we stand ready, as always, to meet that call.
Okay, I am gonna go
Until
sit in my
next time.
castle and read a book. Because walking around does not seem to be going so well right now. Because the minute I start walking around, it's just disaster. Ah, garbage. You're getting by. It would be great if I could stream. It'd be marvelous. I wish the sun would stop having tantrums. And just frickin' shine like it's supposed to. What shall we read? Cats of Skyrim, Explorer's Guide, Fulmer. Treatise. No. Hey Kingsley, how you doing? Well, I would love for it to be going good, but it doesn't want me to play. It's very annoying. Shall we read Ghost in the Storm? Minimarker. I think I read that one. The Doors of Oblivion. Because The Restless. That's about all I can do at the moment. It's like I can read you guys a story because I can't move around because it's gonna give grey screen. Wabbajack? Yeah, let's read Wabbajack. Red Eagle is the start of a quest, but I remember nothing of the quest. Red Eagle. But Red Eagle was in here, was it?
Once again, the Elder Scrolls have proven...
Pirate King of the Ebseen. Yeah, let's read that. Okay, I've grabbed a few books. Let's go plant our asses somewhere and read. I'm offering free book samples, yes. We are gonna read some books. Because that is about all I can do right now. Ghost in the Storm. What do I have? Ghost in what now? I know I've got a book on me. We are going to do story time. Got a whole bunch of books. I nearly said that back right now. You too. You nearly caught me. Nearly. What is that doing? Ghost in the Storm? Is that what we have? Ghost in the Storm. We've got that. Dwarves. The Seed. Yeah, sure. This is Tales of the... Actually, that's part 2. And that's empty. Maybe... Let's go... The internet is wobbling. Yes, it is wobbling like freaking crazy. It is going nuts. It's very annoying. It just dropped down to 0. Now it's up to 200, 250, 600 kilowatts per second. Getting there, 1,000. That's why I'm going to plant my ass. My arse. Good lord. I'm going to plant my ass on my throne with a few good books. And I'm going to read to my minions and chat. My minions are licked. What in the hell is going on? What was that? I already have so few minions. What in the hell? Just absolutely absolute
good.
chaos.
Need something?
The frickin' hell just happened?
Yes.
Yeah, I need bigger pockets, man. Want some band camp? I don't want to put it in there. Let's give you some stuff. I just wanted to sit down and have a peaceful frickin' book reading, and these jerks just come in here and attack everybody. The hell? The hell? Luckily I didn't pick up crap before that. Quarried stone. Oh, that's why I'm so bloody heavy. Okay, let's put those away. Everybody back to your places so I can read. Oh, shit. Okay, you can go sit somewhere. Don't mind. To be. Let's get a book out. Azura and the books. Let's go from the top, shall we? Seems reading is dangerous, apparently. Okay. What's that? An Chilmore had enjoyed an adventurous youth, but had grown to be a very wise, very old dreamer who spent his life searching for the truth and dispelling superstitions. He invented much and created many theorems and logic structures that bore his name. But much of the world still puzzled him, and nothing was a greater enigma to him than the nature of the Aedra and Daedra. Over the course of his research, he came to the conclusion that many of the gods were entirely fabricated by man and Myr. Nothing, however, was a greater question to Chilbur than the limits of divine power. He was once in a speed-reading accident. You hit a bookmark? That's a good one. Nothing, however, was a greater question in Chilbar than the limits of divine power. Were the greater beings the masters of the entire world, or did the humbler creatures have the strength to forge their own destinies? As Nachulbar found himself nearing the end of his life, he felt he must understand this last basic truth. Among the sages' acquaintances was a holy chimer priest named Ethanic. When the priest was visiting whatever the heck that is, Nachulbar told him what he intended to do to find the nature of divine power. Ethanic was terrified and pleaded with his friend not to break this great mystery. Nachulbar was irresolute. Finally, the priest agreed to assist out of love for his friend, though he feared the results of this blasphemy. Ethanic summoned Azura after the usual rituals by which the priest declared his faith in her powers, and Azura agreed to do no harm to him. Chilbar and a dozen of his students entered the summoning chamber, carrying with them a large box. As we see in you in our land, Azura, you are the goddess, the dusk and dawn, and all the mysteries therein, said Chilbar, tried to appear as kindly and obsequious as he could be. It is said that your knowledge is absolute. So it is, smiled the Daedra. You would know, for example, what it is in this wooden box, said Chilbar. Azura turned to Ethanic, her brow furrowed. The priest was quick to explain. Goddess, this Dwemer is a very wise and respected man. Believe me, please, the intention is not to mock your greatness, but to demonstrate it to the scientist and to the rest of the skeptical race. I have never tried to explain your power to him, but his philosophy is such that he must see it demonstrated. If I am to demonstrate my might in a way to bring the dreamer race to understanding, it might have been a more impressive feat you would have me do, growled Zora, and turned to look Nchulbar in the eyes. There's a red-petaled flower in the box. Nchulbar did not smile or frown. He simply opened the box and revealed to all that it was empty. When the students turned to Azura, she was gone. Only Athenic had seen the goddess's expression before she vanished, and he could not speak. He was trembling so. A curse had fallen, he knew that truly, but even crueler was the knowledge of divine power that had been demonstrated. Nchulbar also looked pale, uncertain on his feet, but his face shone with not fear but bliss, the smile of a dreamer finding evidence for a truth only suspected. 2 of his students supported him, and 2 more supported the priest as they left the chamber. I have studied very much over the years, performed countless experiments, taught myself 1,000 languages, and yet the skill that has taught me the final truth is the one that I had learned when I was but a poor young man, trying only to have enough gold to eat, whispered the sage. As he was escorted up the stairs to his bed, a red flower petal fell from the sleeve of his voluminous robe. Nchulbar died that night, a portrait of peace that comes from contented knowledge. Ah, he was a cheater! This is another tale whose origin is unmistakably dreamer. Again, the words of some Aldemira's translations are quite different. The essence of the story is the same. The Dunmer have a similar tale about Nchulbar, but the Dunmer version, Azura recognizes the trick and refuses to answer the question. She slays the Dwemer present for their skepticism and curses the Dunmer for blasphemy. In the Aldemira's version, Azura is tricked not by an empty box, but by a box containing a sphere which somehow becomes a flat square. Of course, the Aldemira's version, being a few steps closer to the original Dwemer, are much more different to understand. Perhaps this stage magic explanation was added for Grolfelim because of Felim's own experience with such tricks in his plays when a mage was not available. Marabor's soul left even the character of Nchulbar alone, and he represents many Dwemer virtues. His skepticism, while not nearly as absolute as in the Aldemira's version, is celebrated even though it brings a curse upon the Dwemer and the unnamed house of the poor priest. Whatever the true nature of the gods, and how right or wrong the Dwemer were about them, this tale might explain why the dwarves vanished from the face of Tamriel. Though Nchulbar and his kind may not have intended to mock the Aedra and Daedra, their skepticism certainly offended the divine orders. Cool, short and sweet. Next. He's still staring at me. Blank eyes. No, wrong one. Wrong one. I'm unable to concentrate on what I'm reading. I didn't mean to open that. Oh my lordy. You are gonna sit on my lap if you move any closer. Back off. Serena, stop pushing him. So rude. Yeah, I feel that. What was I reading? I was gonna read something. That was Azura in the box. Before the Ages of Man. Volume 1. a cantor of Shimmerine. Before man came to rule Tamriel, and before the chronicles of the historians recorded the affairs of the rulers of Tamriel, the events of a world are known only through myths and legends, and through the divinely inspired teachings of the 9 divines. For convenience, historians divide the distant ages of prehistory into 2 broad periods of time, the Dawn Era and the Mytheric Era. The Dawn Era is that period before the beginning of mortal time, when the feats of the gods take place. The Dawn Era ends with the exodus of the gods and magic from the world at the founding of the Adamantine Tower. So this is all lore in the story, which is quite cool. The term Mytheric comes from the Nordic, literally era of the elves. The Merethic, what did I say? Merethic era is a prehistoric time after the exodus of the gods and magic from the world, at the founding of the Adamantine Tower and before the arrival of the Ygrimmor and the Nord in Tamriel. Ysgrimmor. Yg. The following are the most notable events of the Dawn Era, represented roughly in sequence, as it must be understood by creatures of times such as ourselves. The cosmos formed from the Orbis. The words in this frickin' book is huge. Chaos or Totality by Anu and Padome. Akatosh, Oriel, formed and time began. There. The gods, Et Ada formed. Lokon convinced or tricked the gods into creating the mortal plane. Nirn. Nirns? That's the mortal plane as a Nirn? The mortal plane was at this point highly magical and dangerous. As the gods walked, the physical makeup of the mortal plane and even the timeless continuity of existence itself became unstable. When Magic, or Magnus, architect of the plans for the mortal world, decided to terminate the project, the gods convened at the Adamantine Tower, Durrani Tower, the oldest known structure in Tamriel, and decided what to do. Most left when Magic did. Others sacrificed themselves into other forms so they might stay. The El Fae. Lorcan was condemned by the gods to exile in the mortal realms, and his heart was torn out and cast from the tower. Where it landed, a volcano formed, with magic and the mythic sense gone. The cosmos stabilized. Elven history, finally linear, became ME 2500. Mythic era, as it's before Mythic era, or after. Merethic, I'm gonna call it Mythic, okay, was figured by early Nord scholars as a series of years numbered in reverse order backward from the beginning of time. The founding of the Comoran dynasty, recorded as year 0 of the first era. The prehistoric events of the Merethic era are listed here with the traditional Nordic Merethic dates. The early Merethic date cited by King Harold Scholar was ME 2500. The Nordic reckoning of the first year of time. As such, the Merethic era extends from then in the distant past to 1, the year before the founding of the Cameron dynasty. This is kind of boring. Next book. That's gonna hurt my head. That's too much. Hey, did I ever read... No, it's not gonna give me that book. Damn it. Breathing water. We walked through the dry, crowded streets of Bol Fel, glad to be among so many strangers. In the wharfs of Vivek, he had no such anonymity. They knew him to be a smuggler, but here he could be anyone. A lower-class peddler, perhaps, a student even. Some people even pushed against him as he walked past, as if to say, we would not dream of being so rude as to acknowledge that you don't belong here. Serene Relas was not in any of the taverns, but he knew she was somewhere. Serene? No, it's not Serene. Serene. Seren? Let's say Seren. Perhaps behind a tenement window or poking around in a dunghill for an exotic ingredient for some spell or another. He knew little of the ways of sorceresses, but that they always seemed to be doing something eccentric. Because of this prejudice, he nearly passed by the old Dunbar woman having a drink from a well. It was too prosaic, but he knew from the look of her that she was Serene Relas, the great sorceress. Serene? It looks like the internet is getting better. I will try and go walk around after this book. If you all haven't fallen asleep yet. I have gold for you, he said to her back, if you will teach me the secret of breathing water. She turned around. A wide, wet grin stretched across her weathered features. I ain't breathing it, boy. I'm just having a drink. Don't mock me, he said stiffly. Either you're Seren Relas and you will teach me the spell of breathing water, or you aren't. Those are the only possibilities. If you're going to learn to breathe water, you're going to have to learn there are more possibilities than that, boy. The school of alteration is all about possibilities. Changing patterns, making things be what they could be. Maybe I ain't Seren Relas, but I can teach how to breathe water. She wiped her mouth dry. Or maybe I am Seren Relas and I won't. Or maybe even I can teach you to breathe water, but you can't learn. I'll learn, he said simply. Why don't you just buy yourself a spell of water breathing or a potion over at the Mages Guild? She asked. That's how it's generally done. They're not powerful enough, he said. I need to be underwater for a long time. I'm willing to pay whatever you ask, but I don't want any questions. I was told you could teach me. What's your name, boy? That's a question, he replied. His name was Tharian Winloth, but in Vivek they called him the Tollman. His job, such as it was collecting a percentage of the loot from the smugglers when they came into harbor to bring his boss in the Kimono Tong. Of the value of that percentage, he earned another percentage. In the end, it was very small indeed. He had scarcely any gold of his own, and what he had he gave to Seren Relas. The lessons began that very day. The sorceress brought her pupil, who she simply called Boy, out to a low sandbank along the sea. I will teach you a powerful spell for breathing water, she said, but you must become a master of it. As with all spells and all skills, the more you practice, the better you get. Even that ain't enough. To achieve true mastery, you must understand what it is you're doing. It ain't simply enough to perform a perfect thrust of a blade. You must also know what you are doing and why. That's common sense, said Tharian. Yes, it is, said Seren, closing her eyes. But the spells of alterations are all about uncommon sense. The infinite possibilities, breaking the sky, swallowing space, dancing with time, setting ice on fire, believing that the unreal may become real. You must learn the rules of the cosmos and then break them. That sounds very difficult, replied Tharian, trying to keep a straight face. Seren pointed to the small silverfish darting along the water's edge. They don't find it so. They breathe water just fine. But that's not magic. What I'm saying to you, boy, is that it is. For several weeks, Seren drilled her student, and the more he understood about what he was doing, and the more he practiced, the longer he could breathe underwater. When he found that he could cast the spell for as long as he needed, he thanked the sorceress and bade her farewell. There's one last lesson I have to teach you, she said. You must learn that desire is not enough. The world will end your spell no matter how good you are. And no matter how much you want it. That's a lesson I'm happy not to learn, he said. I left at once for the short journey back to Vivek. The wharfs are much the same, with all the same smells, the same sounds, and the same characters. His boss had found a new tollman, he learned from his mates. They were still looking out for the smuggler ship Morodrung. Oh, I found it. But they had given up hope of ever seeing it. Tharian knew they would not. He had seen it sink from the wharf a long time ago. On a moonless night, he cast his spell and he dove into the thrashing purple waves. He kept his mind on the world of possibilities. That books could sing, that green was blue, that water was air, that every stroke and every kick brought him closer to a sunken ship filled with treasure. He felt magic surge all around him as he pushed his way deeper down. Ahead he saw a ghostly shadow of the Morodrung, its mast billowing in a wind of deep water currents. He also felt his spell begin to fade. He could break reality long enough to breathe water, all the way back up to the surface, but not enough to reach the ship. The next night he dove again, and this time the spell was stronger. He could see the vessel in detail, clouded over and dusted in sediment. The wound on its hull where it had struck the reef, a glint of gold beckoning from within. But still he felt reality closing in, and he had to surface. The third night he made it into the steerage, past the bloated corpses of the sailors, nibbled and picked apart by fish, their glassy eyes bulging, their mouths stretched open. Had they only known the spell, he thought briefly, but his mind was more occupied by the gold scattered along the floor. The boxes that contained them shattered. He considered scooping as much as he could carry into his pockets, but a sturdy iron box seemed to bespeak more treasures. On the wall was a row of keys. He took each one down and tried it on the lockbox, but none opened it. One key, however, was missing. Thalion looked around the room. Where could it be? His eyes went to the corpse of one of the sailors, floating in the dance of death not far from the box, his hands tightly clutching something. It was a key. When the ship had begun to sink, the sailor had evidently gone for the iron box. Whatever was in it had to be very valuable. Thalion took the sailor's key and opened the box. It was filled with broken glass. He rummaged around until he felt something solid and pulled it out, and pulled out 2 flasks of some kind of wine. He smiled as he considered the foolishness of a poor alcoholic. This was what was important to the sailor out of all the treasure in Morodrung. Then suddenly Thalion Winlof felt reality. He had not been paying attention to the grim, tireless advances of the world in his spell. It was fading away, his ability to breathe water. There was no time to surface. There was no time to do anything. As he sucked in, his lungs filled with cold, briny water. A few days later, the smugglers working on the wharf came upon the drowned body of the former tollman. Finding a body in the water in Vivek was not itself noteworthy, but the subject that they discussed over many bottles of Flynn was how did it happen that he drowned with 2 potions of water breathing in his hands. Wow. What a story. Very sad story. If only he'd known. Okay, story time's over. Can I get up now, please? You're sitting on my lap? Seriously? I know it's story time, but... seriously. Can you get up, please? I can't get out of here. Do I still have minions left after this?
Smile on you, friend.
Yeah, on you too, buddy. All empty.
Need something?
Does it seem better now? Damn, that's loud. It still looks pixelated to me. Yeah, the minute I start walking around, the internet just drops. Like a ton of bricks into water. I don't know. Doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to stream. Yeah, but I don't want to stream if nobody can see what the hell I'm doing. Nobody's gonna watch that. Okay, let's grab the stuff out of your inventory.
What now?
Do you have...
Anything good?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Do you have anything good? No, not really. Anything else running? No, nothing. I made sure to turn everything off. Give me a second though, I just want to go and grab some more water. I'm back. I just want to quickly check something. Yeah, there's literally nothing else running on my PC. Just OBS, Steam. It doesn't download while I'm playing games though. Not that I know of. Yeah, nothing has changed that I know of, that I'm aware of. But nothing else is running. It's just fluctuating like crazy. Just rather annoying. Rawr. Dinkamarang, fine, yeah, it's exactly. And I mean, it's only in the evenings now. It used to be in the afternoons, so yeah, go figure. I don't know what's going on. But I do know there's another sun flare happening. happening? Ah, bastard. I just took everything. No. I need to go put that in the house that I'm building. Okay. Can't put it away. Why? Iguana. I should just go and sell it to that dude. Even though it's worthless. I don't know if I want to put that in there. So I've got 3 outfits that I need to go put on one of my houses. I'm just ever so slightly annoyed right now. Oops, I ate it. Yeah. It seems to be very up and down. One day it's afternoons, the next day it's evenings. Yeah, let's dress you. There's a beautiful shield. I don't have a shield thing in this place. Hey, that's my horsey. This is not where I wanted to be, damn it. That's where I wanted to be. Isn't that what I was gonna go fetch? And then I got sidetracked? Pretty sure that's what happened. Pretty sure. I can make a nightingale hood now. Oh, I can upgrade it. I need void salt, so. Got stable. I wish my internet was stable. It's so nice. Where in the hell are they gonna put all this stuff in here? Like where is it going to fit? I mean, it's only so big. Where do you suppose they're gonna put the bed? Like right here or right there? This is not very big. I'm pretty sure I got sidetracked last time. I was probably gonna fetch some iron and stuff. I don't know, I'm gonna call it. I'm getting very annoyed that my internet is fluctuating so badly. And I'm looking over at my screen and just see pixelations. And I've got a headache. So, I'm gonna call it. My internet's being an ass. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. Hopefully it didn't bore you too much. Have a wonderful evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. And I will catch you all again on Friday. Bye.